Alright, so, I know I'm late for reviewing this game, but I needed time to ingest this baby. I mean, it's a pretty simplistic game, but just wanted to give myself some time to actually play it through. And, I mean, besides that, I mean, other reviews have been just calling this game as the greatest VR experience ever, one of the greatest VR games, bar none. And, well, is it? So yeah, let's just get down to it. Is this game fun? Most importantly, is it worth the money? Well, let's find out. Alright, typically, let's start off with the aesthetic. It's the love child of Rick and Morty and Jet Set Radio. It's cosmic, futuristic, zany, and dystopic. It's rather weird how dark and light it can get. I mean, when you compare all the tracks and the color scheme, you feel like you just stepped into a 3D rendered Looney Tunes cartoon, with a much more robust color hue to it. Overall, the graphics are sharp and very well crafted, the music is very hip-hoppy techno, and the voice acting, well, the characters repeat the same lines over and over again, and that can get very grating. But you can mute them, so that is a plus. But yeah, the aesthetic is great, and funny enough, really matches the overall premise. It's funny, quirky, and the fast-paced visuals really are awe-inspiring. On to the next topic, well, I guess I could say story, but there really isn't one here. Because all I really need to know is the setting. And the setting is, you are kidnapped to participate in a high-octane skating sport against your will. But that's kind of the vibe this whole game gives off. That you're there, forced against your will, and it's all played off as a huge joke. So it comes off as a dark comedy with a great art style. So yeah, technically the story is part of the aesthetic here. But yeah, with these kinds of games, there's only one thing that really matters here. And that's of course, the gameplay. Now from the trailers, you must already be sold on this game. Skating through intense courses with tons of obstacles at breakneck speeds must be amazing in VR. And oh, they are. But this game does not use the DualShock 4. No, this uses the Move controllers. And you know what that means? You're gonna have to get physical. And my god, this is hands down the most physical VR game I have ever played. For starters, you control your movement by essentially making the same movement you would make on real skates, but only with your upper torso. You grab the main button as you push forward and then push down and back away from you, and then you let go of the button. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it, but that is only the beginning. This game is essentially skating meets parkour, and through the crazy acrobatics, flying, climbing, and other crazy maneuvers you must learn to survive these courses, there is one hell of a learning curve. Now, I'm not one for tutorials in most games, but in this case, it's absolutely essential that you hunker down and complete every single one. Only then can you feel comfortable with the trials that precede you. Oh, and speaking of comfort, despite of how fast you move in this game, I felt zero motion sickness. It must be the speed or the overall immersion, but yeah, this game is absolutely flawless in that department. Now, someone out there may feel some discomfort, but from my own experience, word of mouth, and the internet, it doesn't seem to be an issue with this game, at least not widespread. But yeah, besides the controls and movement, let's move on to the actual content. The game comes with 3 main modes: single player, where you race with bots; challenge mode, a mode where you alone must traverse special tracks and accomplish either a time trial, a collectathon, or a mad dash to the end, where you have boost on the whole time. And of course the final, and my favorite mode, online multiplayer. This is definitely where the most fun will be had for anyone with a competitive spirit. I mean, whether you want to feel like a champion, or just want to socialize, this game has you covered. Oh, and one last tidbit that I forgot to mention. Not only is this game based on skill, a bit of luck, and knowledge of the many courses and their many alternate routes to the finish line, but this game has power-ups. Yes, just like Mario Kart. So with all that said and done, this is a very hectic, very physical, and aggravating game. I mean, like any old kart racer, this can make your blood boil. So now, onto my final thoughts. This game comes with 3 modes, 12 racetracks, 9 challenge tracks, 9 different power-ups, unlockable skins for multiple characters, a zany yet darkly humored aesthetic, and not to mention a simple to learn yet hard to master control scheme that is honestly a lot of fun and a great workout. I mean, what is not to love here? It's an honest-to-God blast to play, and truly a marvel of game design. I mean, the concept on paper doesn't make sense, yet in execution, it's a match made in heaven in VR. Despite the learning curve, which honestly every great sport has, this is a phenomenal game. I mean, I don't mean to sound hyperbolic, but this is the first VR game that I can honestly see becoming an actual esport. I mean, the gameplay is tight and overall an unforgettable experience. If you have a headset of any kind and want to see what true VR ingenuity looks like, well, I present to you the first game that I truly feel can only be played in VR. And what a fun ride it is. Well, that's a review. And now, let's ask the question, is this game worth the money? And at retail, $30? Yeah. I mean, have you not been hearing me? This game has a lot of content, a lot of replay value, and just an incredible fun factor. I mean, this game is amazing. Granted, there are some people who may not like this. Now, people who just want to play mainly single player, well, you can get through all the single player challenge maps and all that stuff in about 2 hours. Granted, you can keep playing, get better times with the time trials and the collectathon, the collections, but this game's longevity is definitely online. To the point where there's actually online challenges you can look up on the internet. Doesn't matter what system you play. It's like a league. You submit your scores. It's kind of like the old Nintendo Power days. It's really, really cool. But yeah, longevity is definitely with the online mode. And also, the other kind of people that might not like this, this game's a workout. So if you don't like, to play games that are very physical, well, this is definitely not for you, because you are going to exercise. And I mean, after a single race, I was sweating. After a single race, that's all it takes is one damn race to start, just getting your pores going. And I absolutely love it. I mean, it feels like a sport. It feels like a true sport. You're constantly thinking ahead of time. You're jumping. You're trying to outmaneuver stuff. You're constantly thinking. You're using your reflexes more than you think. And it's honestly just a fun throwaway, and that's what the immersion comes in. I absolutely love this game because of that it's an actual physical experience. And for VR, we've been needing a game like this. So yeah, regardless, this game is fantastic. I absolutely love it, and despite its somewhat tiny pitfalls, like the learning curve, you gotta actually put time and effort into actually learning this game. You gotta practice, but besides all that, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. And also, nice little tidbit, I like to play this game with a Jet Set Radio Future soundtrack, so that's also really, really cool. But regardless, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.